Hello, welcome to another module in the series Mastering CSS3. In this movie, we'll be looking at using CSS3 styles on forms. This is Margaret Meyer DeCox. Let's get started. I started to call this module CSS3 styles for useful and great looking forms, but I decided that was a little too long. But that's really what CSS3 can do for us with forms, because you can create a form, certainly, without any CSS. However, form design without CSS is pretty limited. So, forms. Maybe you love them, maybe you think they're boring. Either way, they are an essential part of web design and development, whether it's a small login form, a contact us form, or a I've opened the demonstration files in Visual Studio Express, and I'm looking at a file called new-account.html. That file is a basic form that we're going to start working with. And you can see that it is linked to a style sheet, newaccount.css, that's also in the page. Now, the CSS file essentially is just the reset code and some basic styling. And if you glance through it real quick, you'll see the reset code at the top. I have my display block for my HTML5 elements and a body style, which just basically sets color background and a font. Before we actually look at the code on the form itself, let me bring it up in a browser window. So what I'd like to do is add some interactive effects, and I'm doing that by using the pseudo classes. I'm first going to set a pseudo class on the div itself for hover and focus to change the background color to a light blue shade. Now the div is the whole row that an element is in. So when I hover over that div, you can see I'm getting an entire highlight. This might be a little overkill for some forms, but it was good to demonstrate that concept. So here it's very visual as I move through the form where I actually am in it. In addition, for the input, the text area, and the select tags, I've used the pseudo class focus so that when I'm actually clicked into one of those fields, I get a border, a box shadow, and change the background to white. So we lose the gray.